let's call the meeting to order. And have
Agnes Varnarski, chairperson.
present.
Dana Syvertson, commissioner.
Here.
Pete Hahn, commissioner.
Here.
John Kamish, commissioner.
Here.
Seth Marcus, commissioner.
Here.
I'm Jill Moskow, also a commissioner. We do not have Ed Mannon at the moment, but we do have a quorum.
And let's have approval of the minutes of the board meeting of April 13th.
I make the motion that we approve the minutes as so drafted beautifully by Jill Moskow.
Thank you.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's approved. And let's go to old business, volunteer work days.
Okay, we are at 768.5 volunteer hours on the year. I just entered all the rest of the hours, so we're caught up.
That's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours. We still have very high attendance at virtually every event. Even the Transplant Wednesdays are 11, or there could be 20. It's really great. Really great. So anything you want to add?
No, just where we're going to have our work day this weekend on Sunday.
This Sunday's workday is at the southwest corner of the slough and along the Plum Grove. Seth and Bruce and I worked on the some of the Plum Grove last Friday, taking buckthorn out of there to separate it from the Plum Grove. That whole corner has got, we didn't really burn into the woodland, and we stayed away from the plums, so the result is we have a lot of buckthorn there. So there's a full work day there to really get on top of this area.
Plus the area along Hillside.
And along Hillside there. So a full work day. We'll definitely burn up the stuff that we're gonna take out. And that's about it.
In terms of counting volunteer hours, are you counting Geezer Fridays?
Yeah, I have to put in Geezer Fridays into the database. And also all the Peter's time, I've got the individual hours, but I haven't entered those in. So that's definitely going to go up.
So that's going to be way.
Yeah. So Peter, by the way, you've done a magnificent job with spraying. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. There's so much out there, Dana.
I know.
I'm glad the interns are coming.
Yes. Monday.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big job, man.
Yeah, there's so much, but you did so much. I mean, I go to the sites and I just observe, and I can't even believe it. We were there at the Sedge Meadow with Jill on Sunday, and then I went on Wednesday with Seth, and it was just like, wow, you did that much.
I only did about a quarter of what's out there.
I know. There's a lot out there.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
While we're on the hour, the topic of volunteer hours and work days, a couple of shout outs are really necessary. Joel Steffen is superhuman. The guy single-handedly wood chipped the trail that parallels Hillside, and then I worked with him to go from Maple Marion to the boardwalk. No, it was just us. He is just absolutely a machine, and greatly appreciated. The other one is Maya, and the process of arranging those oak giveaways. She's put into a Herculean effort to repot all of those oak, all 200 that came in needed to be repotted. So she has finally finished that task, and they're ready for giveaways. So greatly appreciate those two people.
Thank you to both of them. Dana, if you said we're burning on Friday, does that mean we'll have a kielbasa roast?
No. We're done with kielbasa for the
okay.
year.
Then we'll move on to Prospect Heights Public Library Park District events.
Okay, we have Grace Hart coming up on July 19th, and her presentation is concerning bees and the role honeybees play in the overall scheme of things, and what effect they have on native bees. It's a pretty interesting topic. There's no one else lined up after her at this point. Bird walks are this Saturday and in 2 weeks on the 27th. So this Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30, there's currently 6 people signed up for that, plus any commissioners who want to tag along. Starts at 7:30 at the Isaac Walton Pavilion. So that's basically it.
And then we'll move on to projects, update status on the boardwalk and Pollinator Park.
Okay, the boardwalk, the signs have been ordered. That's it. The only real update I can give you at this point. The signs have been ordered. They should be here in about 2 weeks. Then we can actually put them up.
We also need to level it.
We also still need to level the boardwalk. In those, there's like 4 or 5 sections that are problematic and really need to be addressed.
I can work on that on the work day, Dana. I think it'll be, well, hopefully it'll be dry enough to get down on the ground and level that out. It'd be good to put some bolts in those, drill some bolts into the bottom of those posts to level it out and get rid of the. We just had everything shimmed up until everything's settled. Now it's all settled, so it's time to make it a little more.
All right,
permanent.
I'll go to the hardware store and get bolts to make that happen. We have all the bits and
Some of those bits were shot. I don't know if they're the same ones that we were using.
We had quite a few. I know 1 or 2 were really in bad shape, but
You might want to test it out on a pipe before you.
all right.
There are
Just so you know, when you go to lift a section, you know, it's made so that they can lift up. Because people have been walking on them and it's mud, some of them are really hard to lift up. You know, you'll need a shovel to like wedge under it or something like that.
We have
I got the Enforcer.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have a 6-foot crowbar here right now. So
all the tools. There are, there's a chance of showers on Mother's Day or on Sunday for the work day. But,
yeah, I looked at that. It says not a lot of rain and it's
scattered.
It's like 50% chance. I didn't even
46%
to address it. I don't think it's going to happen.
Hopefully, we can get some work in.
Dana, do you still have some of those leftover shims we used when we originally installed it, or?
I
don't think so, but we can certainly make some real quick.
Yeah, it might be helpful to pound those underneath to level it, and then we can put the bolts in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
Okay. It's work day.
Pollinator Park, that sign was put in over there. The other sign will go in after we do the shoreline restoration because it'll be in the way. So as soon as that's ready, we'll do that. That brings us to the next subject of the shoreline restoration project. I need those papers. I have the quote in hand today. We need to discuss this in detail and make some decisions. There's 3 things I think that factor into this. One is everyone's availability to help with this project, because this is really going to be all hands on deck. The second one is the weather. We want this to be as dry as possible in order to do this. And then the third factor is getting the materials delivered. Now, for some reason, the delivery is nowhere near what it was last time. You recall, it was like $1,700. I think it's because it was coming from the factory in Indiana. Apparently these things are in stock locally, so the freight is much less. I've got, we're doing 130 linear feet with 2 rolls. So we have 26 logs, 10-foot long. That's the 7-pound. They're $93.50 each for a total of $24.31. We have a different kind of erosion blanket. This one's a little bit denser. It's a combination of straw and coconut. And it's 8 foot by 112 foot. It's $65. We have 150 stakes at $1.10 for $165, and another box of staples for the erosion blanket at $50. That brings us to a total of $27.11 for materials, and then the freight is $530. Brings the grand total to $32.41. So if we look at the budget, we have $5,000 in the budget minus the $32.41. That leaves us with $17.59 for aquatics. Or if we decide we need the Bobcat, that'll be covered at any additional rope. Now, what we have in stock is we have 600 feet of half-inch rope. We have 1.5 of the old erosion, the straw erosion blankets. We have half a box of staples, and we have 179 stakes. Even though that's a lot of stakes, we still need an additional, as I said, 150. The length that we did on the north and south of last year's area was 317 stakes that were used in that project. So making sure that we don't run out this time, that pretty much covers us. So if we look at the weather, on delivery time is 1.5 to 2 weeks on this. And we have to lock in these prices within 10 days from today in order to get them locked in. So I think my recommendation is let's go ahead and issue the PO, get the materials ordered with an open delivery time, just so we can freeze this price. God only knows what could happen to the price. If I look at the weather, and that would be the second factor, the weather in addition to everyone's availability, from June 1st to June 9th, the weather looks like it'll be okay. There's not gonna be a major event. I mean, it's a long way out, but AccuWeather this is their best guess. It may rain on the 12th, 13th, and 14th, the 26th, 27th, and 28th of June, but none of those events at this point are scheduled to be more than a half inch. It's a guess, okay? It's better than what we got. May rain is on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th, the 26th, 27th, and 28th, according to them. So there's none of those dates listed for the rain really should impact the water levels. So June 1 through 9 looks pretty good. If we push it to July, according to their forecast, and again, you got to temper that, the dates of July 1st through the 12th seem to be optimal for getting the project in. But then again, we've got the 4th of July parade there. So I guess I default to what everybody else thinks in terms of weather guess.
Well, I would think we should stay away from May and early June, just given past records when we had that 100-year event. It was in early June. Also, I am planning to take vacation days, surprise, surprise, the first 2 weeks of July. I have to get my time in or I'm going to lose it. So I'm available the first 2 weeks of July.
Okay.
I don't know what help I could be, but I'm available.
Well, leading up to July, the first week of July would be tough because we'll be constructing 4th of July float and all that stuff. After that, I suppose is possible. Early June works best for me, but I know, not everybody's going to be able to make everything. So,
Yeah.
when did the interns start?
Monday.
May 15th.
Monday.
Monday. Oh, okay, great.
That also means
The
that they're
water's
leaving
super
early.
low. It'd be really great right now.
Yeah,
And I don't know how long that's going to last, but
I know.
Well, again, according to that forecast, it looks like there's 2 weekends of rain in May, and they don't amount to much. So probably the water level, if that holds true, water level is going to be really close to where it is right now.
I really don't think you can forecast the weather like that. I mean, you get a rain event and it could be 4 inches and it takes days to go down. I think we have to think about getting it delivered and then how long can we store it there for?
Well,
why don't we have it? Why don't we shoot for early June? If the weather's good, we can hit it. And if we get buried in water, we'll let it sit and we'll wait till it goes down. I mean, is that reasonable?
makes sense to me. Peter, John, Seth, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get it delivered as soon as you can and let it sit there, and when conditions are right, get everybody together and have at it.
Yeah.
Problem is, where is it going to be delivered? It has to be off to the side. It can't be on the trails there.
Well, we've got that open area there.
Strawberries?
Yeah. I mean, we can find a place to put it. It's not a problem. Okay. I will work with Peter Falcone to get this ordered tomorrow. And then we'll have it in 1.5 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll shoot for early June install. Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it needs it. I mean, it's desperate erosion going on there right now. So the sooner the better, I think.
Okay. All right.
Amy, did you want to make a comment about shoveling versus?
Yeah, the only other real issue there is there's a lot of undercut there, and we need to do the same thing we did last time, where we put down the erosion blanket, put in that first roll, fold it over, and then cave in the top on top of it, and then fold the blanket back, and then set the next roll. It's really tight quarters there, where because of the existing plantings, and then we've got that one patch of Indian grass that's in its 3rd year now, and it would be just horrible to screw that up. So at least in that area for sure, it's going to have to be done by hand. It's probably 20 feet. But it's also very, very tight quarters to operate a Bobcat in. And I had Lewis out to look at it. He felt that he could navigate it in the area and not do damage to the plantings, but he said that the grass walking path would be just literally destroyed. So that would be part of
The very first one we did with just shovels, and we didn't take off any of that top.
Well, that's what we're going.
Well, the difference is the tree roots last year, and I think we'll be in better situation with this section because there's less tree roots. So potentially we could do it by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll at some point we'll go out and try breaking off a piece and see what happens. I agree with John. There's next to no roots in this patch, so it's real different.
And that Bobcat really it disturbs the soil so much then that you get so many weeds coming up later. It's really difficult to establish after that.
It also compacts the earth big time. So
yeah.
So there's a lot of work after that. Okay.
Okay, so I'll proceed with getting that stuff ordered then, and as soon as I have an ETA on it for sure, I'll give everybody a heads up.
Thanks, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. C greenhouse program update.
It's you.
Okay. Well, we had a very go to Transplant Wednesday yesterday. We probably need to put all the plants out on the ground though, instead of having them on shelves. So I don't know.
For those of you who don't know, the cover was removed from the temporary holding greenhouse, so the racks that were in there, the plants are sitting on those racks. And now that the yard has been leveled out and covered with wood chips, the plants can go on the ground. So
But it needs a fenced area too. So I was thinking maybe doing it tomorrow morning. Okay.
any other comments?
No. Community Day update, June 3rd.
Jill, do you have any updates?
I do not. I don't. You did register us, didn't you, Dana?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Black Party, June 17th.
Same deal. We're registered. It's June 17th. The question is, what plants will we be giving away? And we have the oak trees to give away as well. So
Milkweed, for sure.
milkweed.
And I will see what else. Independence Day Parade.
We're, Prospect Heights Parade is on July 1st. The Arlington Heights Parade is on July 4th. We intend to attend both of them. I have the registration form in hand for Arlington Heights. Dana or Agnes, do we have register officially? Is there official registration for Prospect Heights Parade, or how do we?
Yes.
There is.
Do you have the paperwork for that, or?
I think I've already submitted it, but
Oh, good.
Double check with.
I'll double check with Karen tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did though.
I spoke to Lewis about securing the auto trailer we used last year for the float. So I'm just waiting to hear back. He doesn't think that's going to be a problem. And then basically we'll construct it similar to what we did last year with a few new embellishments. And of course, anybody who wants to build or contribute some kind of costume or giant puppet or some kind of construct in that regard, definitely have at it. We're going to be working on a kind of a monarch theme this year with a giant 20-foot caterpillar, followed by, well, preceded by milkweed people, and then followed by a giant monarch butterfly. So it'll be cool, and that'll just add to all the stuff we had last year. So that's the plan.
And John, you would need someone to maneuver the monarch butterfly, the caterpillar, correct?
Plan is to have 6 people in the caterpillar, basically maneuvering that. And the butterfly is going to be mounted to the back of the trailer, and that should be able to be basically controlled by one person.
Okay.
And not carrying it, it'll be mounted. And then there'll be, need for people to fill out a lot of the costumes and stuff we had last year.
Will your birds be making an appearance?
Excuse me?
Will your birds be making an appearance?
Yeah, we have the giant blue heron will be there, the egret.
Great.
We'll probably need someone to wear the heron this year, as I'll probably be orchestrating and or conducting some of the caterpillar and butterfly stuff. So we'll spread it out. I had a preliminary meeting with Kate Tully and Heather Hillian, and also Dana and Andy, and we kind of mapped out some ideas, and I plan on actually starting the frame of this caterpillar next week, so get that project up and running. And then, well, on the back side of that, we got a giant butterfly to make too. So it'd be about 12 feet across.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be nice. The idea is that we like the spectacle here, so we got our upper game from last year, which is pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
Growing.
that's great. Amazing. Yeah, really exciting. Okay, so then moving on, let's move on to summer interns who are starting on Monday. Very exciting. We're just getting everything together. You know, all the materials and everything ready to start. We have all the supplies. Do you happen to pick up the stuff from City Hall, Dana? Oh, okay, we have to pick up tomorrow. We're gonna pick up the supplies from City Hall. And I'm just really excited, really excited. We have Monday night, so the whole day, the entire day, we're just gonna be touring the sites and doing a lot of introduction, a lot of safety discussions, and, you know, just all
Basic orientation.
basic orientation day.
If anyone wants to come with us to site visits, you're more than welcome.
What time are you
What time?
starting?
7
7 to 3.
to 3. It's pretty early. Okay, any questions about the regular interns? I think they've submitted all their paperwork and everything's in place, so
Do you know that?
I only, from their comments, yes, it sounds like they did.
Dana, it's Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have most of their intake paperwork, but not the most important, unfortunately. So I can get that to you again. It's just, I need to know for taxes, for their direct deposit, all that information is the most important to get them in payroll. So I'll get that stuff to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, and they probably already have it, Pete, but I'll touch bases with them tonight and then let you know if I need it, or there was some question on Catherine's part about where to send those forms, so I think that may be
And if, as long as I get them within the first week of them starting, earlier the better, because I just don't want to have an issue with them with payroll.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Otherwise, they're good to start on Monday?
Oh yeah, they're fine. I've got one pre-employment physical, and then the other can just do it as soon as they possibly can.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
Moving on to the 214 micro internships, Jason, Sonia, and Ava are the high school students. One's from Hershey, two from Prospect. Their first day is June 7th. Their schedule will be Wednesdays from 1 to 4 and Friday from 8:45 to 10:45. Let's see, they put in 5 hours a week, so it's 6 weeks program. Jason wants to do 60 hours, so we're going to work with him to set up what he would do for an additional 30 hours once they actually get here. So.
Yeah. And so this will not coincide whatsoever with our regular interns, because this is, you know, I'm doing a 1 to 4 so that those last 2 hours is okay on the Wednesday, because the interns are working anyway. We've got all our education. I've spent time with them. I just go a little bit longer, and then I'm going to be going to work later on Fridays, so the interns still get their education like they normally would and all their instruction, and I just basically adjusted my schedule to be able to do the high school interns too. But yeah, if anybody wants to join us during those times, that'd be great.
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Moving on, Jill, I think continuous reporting should be in front of new business, but we can change that next time around.
Okay.
So moving on to new business, Jill, you want to talk about the Living Green Expo?
Certainly. Grace Lutheran Church on Euclid Avenue, Wolf Road in Mount Prospect is hosting a Living Green Expo 2 Their first one was last year, and I remember driving by and just seeing how well attended it was. So we will have representation there. They've been very welcoming. It's on May 20th, Saturday from 10 to 2, and it centers on living green for your home, your children, your health, your community, and then you can also make a presentation. I doubt that I will do that myself, but I'm really excited about it. They do have a good lineup, and I will man our table. They did ask for a children's educational section, so if I could take any of those pamphlets that we have from the Illinois Continuing Ed. And then I did go to the dollar store, and I got some crafts, you know, do your own bird feeder. I got oh, what do you call it? Well, I just got some things just to give away as for the kids. And while I'm there, I am going to mention to them that we will be at the Prospect Heights block party. I was going to ask Christina if I could copy information, you know, just the informational sheet on the block party so I can hand that out and make them aware that we'll be at the block party and we'll be giving away plants just to give further encouragement. Would you want me to be obtaining email addresses from this crowd?
Sure, if you want to. Absolutely.
Okay.
And we can do the transfer of all, whatever you feel comfortable taking with you in terms of props and giveaway materials. We can sort that out on our own time.
We can. Thank you.
Okay. That's going to be difficult to set up, Jill, by herself, though.
Yeah, if anybody's available and want to help Jill, I'm sure she could use the help. We're going to be out of town, so.
That's okay. I don't mind. I know I'll keep it to what I can manage, but we have so much material. I didn't want to miss the opportunity. I think it will be well attended.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jill.
You're welcome.
I might be able to help you, Jill. It's up in the air at this point, but I'll let you know.
Thanks, Jen.
All right, jumping over to, because it only makes sense with BNC to be at the very end there.
So continue supporting annual plan review.
Yeah, annual plan review. There are only so many hours a day, and I haven't made any progress on it. So hopefully we'll have a better take on it.
Okay, the budget and treasurer's report. Tom?
Okay, so we're starting the new fiscal year with a new budget. I sent it out to everybody earlier in the week. Basically, from the city, we're working with $13,544. From the Park District, we have $7,500. We have a donation for another $500, so that brings us to a budget of $21,544 for the 2023-24 fiscal year. On top of that, we have a $5,000 capital budget for the shoreline registration. Now, I thought that was $6,000 a year when we got that approved, wasn't it?
No, it's 5,000.
Okay.
Hey, Dana, if I may, it is actually 6,000 a year. It's 36,000 total for 6 years.
I stand corrected.
So you can go over that 5,000, Dana, but that when I did the budget many moons ago, you guys went over last year by like $900 and some dollars. So that just has to be made up in the next 5 years. So if you do 6,000 this year, then one of the years you have to do 5,000.
Okay. Well, the way the numbers were laid out by Dana earlier, I think we can fit in the $5,000 budget for this year, right? So,
I agree, yeah.
All right, so that's looking good. Of course, once we start paying the interns and all that, that's going to drop tremendously. So
really quickly.
We'll see on the next budget report.
Right. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Okay. Commissioner's site monitoring reports. I think we've all reviewed. Any comments or questions or?
I have a question for Peter. When you mentioned a bunch of like logs or something in the creek, is that something that you know, humans can remove, or they're too big?
No, they're small. I think kids or someone, residents, whatever, have taken them from the top and thrown them down by the stepping stones. So they're 1 to 2, 3 foot in length, small, but manageable.
Okay. Right. Good to know.
Yeah, it's really bad right there by the stepping stones. That's kind of where it seems to be the gathering place.
Okay.
A lot of debris is getting thrown in there, or caught by the stepping stones.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll attack it.
I mean, if we had more wood chips, we could maybe at some point, either in the city or the park district, we'll have wood chips to lay down there, right?
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. Any other questions, comments about anything?
No.
Okay.
Wood
city-
chips on the slough trail are great. I put in a culvert under
Good.
it gets really muddy over there, and chipped over that as well. So in the last couple of rain events, it's been holding up pretty good. So I think that's going to be a solution.
Yeah, I'm derelict on not mentioning that fact. Thanks a million, John, because it really does change that
Huge difference.
That difference over there.
Yeah, I think it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Really well.
It's a good technique for sure.
Yeah. French drain, right? That's what it's called? Or, no,
It's
what's it
just
called?
It's called the drain.
Whatever.
Drain
It works really well to get.
It's just a PVC pipe that I had, so that's all.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's move on then to city civic meetings and PHNRC representation.
Great. At the April 24th City Council meeting, the city budget for fiscal year 2023-24 was approved. Also, Willow Road Design Progress presentation was presented by City Engineer Dan Strahan. All the details and screenshots of his presentation were in the minutes, and they'll be with these meeting minutes. At the Prospect Heights Park District Board meeting of April 25th, we learned that Dino Squires, Superintendent of Facilities and Parks, will retire at the end of July. They will be seeking his replacement by end of June so that the replacement can spend the whole month of July with him and learn the ropes, policies, procedures. The property at 214 Wheeling Road is now with city ownership and will be demolished in June.
Thanks, Jill.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Announcements to the public. Seth?
I have an announcement. So lately I've been just picking up a ton of trash around the lake and the slough and the parks that I'm walking through, and so I'm on a real anti-plastics kick. So just a couple things that you can do at home to decrease your usage. One would be to not use laundry detergent that comes in big plastic containers. And we actually have these, and I don't have it with me, but I'd show you, but these, they're just sheets of detergent. And they come in a biodegradable like envelope, basically. You take a sheet and you throw it in your wash, and that's your soap. And it's you never have to buy a giant plastic bottle of detergent. It's a really great product. We love it. And then the other thing we use is we use bar shampoo and bar conditioner. It comes in solid. They pack it in little boxes. And again, you don't have to get these big plastic bottles for your shampoo and conditioner and all that kind of stuff. It just comes there, you wash it, it goes down the drain, and that's it. It disappears. So you can definitely decrease your plastic usage by using these products. They're really great.
You have
Are
links?
biodegradable detergent sheets available in the store, John, or did you buy it online?
I'm not sure where we got the latest ones. I'd have to ask my wife about that. But I've got a bunch of links and stuff, connections for this stuff. Some of this stuff is available in the stores, but a lot of it, sometimes it is online. So.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could send those links, that'd be great. I'll build it in the journal.
Okay.
Yeah, great. All right, no visitors, so
No comments.
comments. Okay. So let's call the meeting to adjournment then.
I make the motion that we adjourn.
Can I just ask one quick question? Next time we're in person, right?
Yes.
Oh, right, next time we're in person. We have to be in
How did
person.
that happen?
Oh, just
I
recently
think the announcement came today from Peter.
yeah, because
The state rule is up, so you can, well, meetings are no longer Zoom, I guess.
And if we have a quorum in person and somebody is traveling out of state, can the out-of-state person Zoom in?
Yes.
Okay.
is that.
Same with disabilities and illnesses.
Correct. Sorry, Dana. What I sent everybody had the stipulations, the option, or not options, but the specific reasons why you could do Zoom, but you need a quorum at City Hall. If you're sick, if you're on a work thing, if it's an emergency, if you're on vacation, do not say you're on vacation, because that is not a legitimate reason to do an Open Meetings Act violation. So if you're sick, if it's an emergency, or if you're away on work.
Okay,
Thank you, Peter.
thank you.
Yeah.
I make the motion we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you, everyone.